Hello, people. Welcome back to my show, Comic Chats. My name is Danny Graham, and before we get started today, I want to actually do a couple things for me. First, if this is your first time viewing my channel, please, I'm going to ask you to hit the subscribe button. Also, hit the notification bell because I don't want you to miss any material that I upload. I want to ask you at the end of my video today, please give me a thumbs up, leave comments. Your comments are definitely wanted and appreciated, and also gives me a direction on what I want to do on my next topic. Now today first of all, before I get started, I want to apologize because on my last video, I said I was going to do it the next day, but as you know, life got in the way. Got two jobs, and I was not able to get to the second topic, continuing from the first topic, which was the full spoiler review of Spider-Man Far From Home. This, however, is going to be my take on the two in-scene credits from Far From Home. And only thing I can say is it was just disappointing. It just shook my head, and I'm like, why did they waste this opportunity? I don't understand it. It did not make sense to me. I wanted to just strangle somebody. I couldn't believe that Kevin Feige put his name on this. I know he produced the movie. I saw it after the credits, but it was a perfect opportunity to flow into Phase 4 and to have something that we were all chomping at the bit to see. Now, I've seen a lot of YouTubers, and they were excited about J. Jonah Jameson. I mean, okay, he didn't move my needle much. I like the actor that plays him. He's a good actor. He's very dynamic, and he nails J. Jonah Jameson. But first, I'm trying to figure out why would they tell Spider-Man's identity. I don't see what that's going to do unless they're trying to parallel where Tony Stark at the end of Iron Man said, "I am Iron Man." So if this is their version of way of letting the world know that he's Spider-Man and they're taking Spider-Man into a new direction, I don't know. But it's going to instantly put Aunt May and MJ and whoever else, his friend Ned, in jeopardy if the whole world knows who he is. Unless they're going to try and introduce Daredevil, and maybe Daredevil will be the attorney that's able to get him out and clear his name and see that Spider-Man is not Peter Parker. I don't know how they would do that. Maybe Nick Fury can have one of the Skrulls impersonate Spider-Man. That's something that's viable, and have them at the same place at the same time, and people can see that Peter Parker is here and Spider-Man is doing his heroic things. They maybe how they can pull it out, but I just didn't think that made any sense. A friend of mine pointed out that MJ in the comic books liked this swing with Spider-Man, but in this one she totally didn't like it. That was something that he critiqued. I really don't care one way or the other whether she liked it or not. But I just didn't understand that first end credit scene. They should have just finished the movie off with the first end credit scene, because where it took off at with him swinging with her over the building, that's where the movie stopped. But then the end credit scene, the first one, showed where it took off, where he landed with her. It was still swinging. He landed. She told him she didn't want to do that again. He jumped on the lamppost and was about to swing off, and then that's when J. Jonah Jameson came up on the big jumbotron in Times Square and made the announcement of the false video that Mysterio made during the fight, and it looked like he killed Spider-Man. Correction, like Spider-Man killed him, and he actually flipped the script and said, and then he also revealed Spider-Man's secret identity, saying that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, and that's how it goes off. Like I said, I don't see what storyline or story arc they're going to build, unless they're going to put him in prison with the Scorpion, and possibly with Michael Keaton as the Vulture. He's going to have to fight while he's in prison. They could be doing that and starting the Sinister Six. That could be Kevin Feige plan. Not bad. Or they could do some kind of secret invasion, or this could be their way, like I said again, I don't want to sound redundant, but it could be how Iron Man said, "I'm Iron Man" in the first movie, and let the world know his identity. Maybe this is their way of letting the world know Spider-Man identity, and he's taking up the mantle of Iron Man. I was watching one of the other YouTubers, Robert Storms, and he had a couple of guests on there. Very good show. You can follow him, Robert Storms. Um, and he was saying that he didn't feel like it was an Iron Man Jr. movie, but I felt like it was totally Iron Man Jr. movie. If you notice in Iron Man 1, when he was making the suit, when he first tried to fly, he just had on the boots. He crashed several times, and then he needed to make stabilizers. And then he did like the digital or the stabilizer, the virtual stabilizers where he could stick his hand in, and then he could look at it and make adjustments. Same thing Spider-Man did when he's making his suit. He had the virtual web shooters that he stick in, and he made adjustments to it. To me, it looked just like Iron Man Jr. Of course, it shows some of Peter Parker's natural instincts. Also, it showed his intellect. He has aptitude for science, biology, and he understands some of the same things that Iron Man understood, especially when he first met Mysterio, and Mysterio was trying to explain to him about the multiverse. Spider-Man started spitting out all kind of theories and why I couldn't do this and do that, just like Tony. So there are very similar parts in the movie to me that has made it seem like Iron Man Jr. Now, some people, the die-hard Spider-Man fans, are just chomping at the bit and going crazy and raising arms and like, it's not my Spider-Man, it's not my Spider-Man. Well, it's not supposed to be a Spider-Man. Well, some aspects of it's supposed to be, some not. This is someone's take on Spider-Man. And they may be moving Spider-Man into a different direction. I hear a lot of the comic book people say that Marvel and DC are stale. They get the same storylines churning over and over and over. Now they're doing something different, and you're still complaining. So I don't totally hate this new thing they got for Spider-Man. It has enough of the Spider-Man, the core Spider-Man in it, that I enjoy the movies. The first hour of this movie was kind of slow, but there were parts of it I really liked. The fight scene. Now the way they totally say the Spider Sense is called Peter Tingle, I didn't like that. It was kind of cute the first time, but they need to get the Spider Sense. When he decided to use his Spider Sense when he's fighting Mysterio on the last fight, that fight scene was awesome. It was truly the Spider-Man that we see on TV, we see in comics. He was dodging and moving and making makeshift weapons out of whatever he could grab or web up. That was totally Spider-Man. Also, the fact that he ran out of webs is a classic Spider-Man. Now to go on to the second and the most useless end scene credit, we see where the Skrulls were actually posing as Nick Fury and the agent. I can't think of her name, but it's actually the Skrull husband and wife that was in Captain Marvel. They're acting like Nick Fury and his agent, his right hand. They transform back and they're talking, and they call Nick Fury and give him an update or report. And Nick Fury's in this simulated room that looked like he's on the beach, but he's actually in some kind of room. And it got a holographic projector showing and looking like he's on the beach. Then he gets up and walks and talking about get back to work and who has my shoes. Totally wasted. They could have done something like introducing Galactus. They could have done something like maybe Madam Web. There was talk about introducing the other two Spider-Mans to make a live-action Spider-Verse. There's many different directions they could have done, but to just waste Samuel Jackson's talent for one, and to waste that scene, I think, was just a tragedy. Did not understand it. Are the Skrulls supposed to be the new Shield, or is he rebuilding Shield? Where exactly are they? We didn't see any of that. Didn't explain any of that. So, in my opinion, these two these two end credit scenes was just totally useless. I sit there for an extra 5-10 minutes just to see something that was totally useless, in my opinion. Don't understand it. Don't know why Kevin Feige didn't try and tie it more into a point in direction that he wanted to go. Just didn't understand it. Just didn't like it. Definitely not the second end credit scene. First one, okay, I give you that for a shock value, and also to bring back J. Jonah Jameson. But overall, I was very disappointed in the end credit scenes. If you hadn't seen the movie yet, there's no need to sit down and go and watch it. It's nothing less that you can go on YouTube right now and look at it and see. Um, it's nothing that's gonna be make you go oh or whatever. Like I said, some die-hard Spider-Man YouTubers were kind of crazy about J. Jonah appearing, but that really didn't rock my boat. Really didn't move my needle. So just didn't understand it. That's my take on Spider-Man: Far From Home end credit scenes. I hope that, well, if you are a Spider-Man fan, if you are a Marvel fan, if you are a comic book fan, definitely go check out the movie. I definitely think that it tied up some of the issues of Endgame. It explained the snapping, but they call it the blip. That if things happen, if you were a part of the blip and you actually were the one that got snapped away, then you stayed the same age. You didn't age any. But if you stayed here, then you, of course, you aged 5 years, and that's why Peter hadn't aged, Ned hadn't aged, MJ hadn't aged, because they all were in the snapping. They were a part of it. So it kind of explained that. Also, it showed us Peter's new rival, Brad. But I think Peter won because MJ definitely digging Peter and he's digging her. So that was another little twist to it. But tell me what you think about the movie. Did the end scene credits make any sense to you if you already seen the movie? Or do you agree with me and say that that was just a wasted opportunity? Please leave a comment. Please give me a thumbs up. Your comments are definitely wanted. They're definitely needed. Because when I read your comments, I get feedback, and that gives me sometimes inspiration or idea to do whatever my next topic may be. I want you to definitely continue to subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Hit the notification bell and keep supporting, and keep retweeting, resending out my videos. My goal is 1,000. I'm not too far away from it. I think I've crossed over the 600 mark. I got 400 more subscribers to go. I can only do that with your help. So I'm just going to ask you, please continue to subscribe and tell your friends, tell your mama, tell your daddy, whoever you want that you think that might click on there and give me a subscribership. Hit the notification bell. I definitely appreciate it. Thank you again for following my channel. You will make me do this. I love talking about this kind of stuff. It's what I do. It's what I watch. Can't wait forward to the next movie, which I think is going to be Black Widow. But if there's anything that you want me to discuss or want me to talk about, please leave me a comment. On Twitter, I am at Comic Chats. That's at COMICCHATS, at Comic Chats with an S. Until then, I always ask you to stay safe, stay cool, and as always in all my shows, peace.